All right, everybody. So welcome back. Just got this thing back together a couple of days ago. Haven't really filmed much. Kind of just been piddling, more or less. We actually did run it a little bit. Got it back together. Ran it about 30 minutes. Changed oil. Everything looked good. Need to tune the carburetor a little bit. Actually, have been fighting some transmission issues. Well, not really transmission issues, but transmission controller related issues. So everything's been wired for a little while now, and turns out that in here I've got to do a little bit more work. Let me get a light. I guess a phone light will do. So those controller wires, the plug-ins, we had to depin them. I had to depin them to run them through the firewall, because you have to cut a pretty big hole to get that whole connector in. So when I depinned them, it turns out I didn't get them plugged in all the way, so kind of chased some issues really unnecessarily, but it turned out to be okay, and it was a simple fix. Still may have to work on them a little bit more and make sure that this doesn't happen again. Also, I put a mechanical oil pressure gauge in it. I need to tuck the wiring, or not the, need to get it wired, need to get the bulb wired, and need to run the lines to where they're not really visible. I read online about some, modification you could do to the instrument cluster to make it read, because it's essentially just a dummy light for 6 pounds of oil pressure, and let's just be honest. If it doesn't kick on until it drops those 6 pounds of oil pressure and you're running 2,500 RPM, it's going to do a lot of damage quick. So I actually read that you could extend where the factory style oil sender goes. You have to extend it out a little bit, put a 90 on, or not a 90, but really a 45 elbow, and run like a 84, 85 style. And then you go into the instrument cluster, and you have to jumper two pieces together, and I think there was something else. But anyway, I actually did some more research on that, and turns out it only works for 93 and later, and it's a 95, so it's just the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, it's not really any big deal. So I just left the dummy light on. I run I think a 4-inch piece of pipe to a T. It's kind of ghetto, but you can't see it. Ghetto, is that the word? Is that the word the kids are using now? So 4-inch pipe nipple into a T. Just got all that tight with some PTFE. And then in the top, as you can see, that is the factory like 6-pound switch. And then in the bottom, that's where I ran the mechanical. So you can still get the filter on and off, no problem. So, it's not in the way. You can't, you look right there. Let me make sure. Yeah, even up close, you can't see it. So, you have to come over here with a light to be able to see it, or know it's there. And it doesn't leak, so that's really the main thing, right? Yeah, I got this thing together. I think the last video I ended it with just the water pump. I just put the water pump on. I let it set, came back, put the lower hose and upper hose on it, and put a pressure tester on it, and it was great. Never dropped a pound. Sat here for probably 10 or 15 minutes easy. Never leaked, never lost anything. So Went ahead and filled it up, ran it some. I know I've got to tune that freaking carburetor some. It's pretty lean. And I know another issue is we've been, it seems like we've been fumbling around with other stuff and had the key on, and you know, key on electric choke, that element gets hot and it opens the choke, so it makes it really hard to start cold. And that could be an issue, either that or the choke is stuck open. I don't know. Need to check on that some. Fill it up with transmission fluid, because I pulled it out to check. I've done some checks down there, made sure everything was alright. And not to mention the pan gasket was leaking, so put a new pan gasket on it. I did wind up polishing the alternator when I had it back off, so I thought, what the heck. Just made sure to blow it out really good. That way it's not all corroded and nasty looking versus everything else, which, I mean, they don't look fantastic, but they look better than they did. So, yeah. Also need to make this vacuum line. Need to make a vacuum line for there. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, we're really just getting into buttoning up everything, making sure it's good, making sure everything is the way it's supposed to be, and hopefully we'll be driving it soon. But I guess we'll find out, right? So anyway, yeah, it's just a little quick update, but I'll definitely post another video, or another update rather. I'll make this all one video for the week. So trying to think if anything else was done. Oh yeah, one thing I think is pretty neat. So we tried to make the fuel pump run off the key. Well, it just unfortunately didn't happen. So I could get it to prime. It would prime with the key on, but as soon as the engine started running, the pump wouldn't run anymore. So wound up having to run it straight into a switch. But as you can see, maybe not, it's kind of dark in here. Let's see. Guess phone light again. Yeah, I kind of hit it there. So I just wound up pulling the kick panel off and drilled from the top and then wired in from the top. You can actually take it out. It's just spade terminal, so you can unplug it and it doesn't get in the way. So yeah, it's pretty cool, I think. That way it's not, you know, you got enough nasty right there. I know you probably wanted to keep it a lot cleaner than that, but I just didn't have the ability, I guess, or desire. I don't know. I don't think it's too ugly, so maybe it's just me. So yeah, there she is for now. Hopefully get everything double squared away and drive it this week. Get it out to him soon. Alright, so be back in a moment. Alright, so another quick little update. Nothing's really happened under here. I've tried to clean up some wiring. And I've got the vacuum line ran underneath the intake and goes along the firewall to right there. That's really about it under hood. I'm still fighting the trans controller some. So it's like it's not making a good connection on the plug-in side. So I may have to contact them and see about getting a new plug, or I don't know, because it works 1 minute and if you move the wires it's like it loses contact. So I need to contact them and get that sorted. I unplugged, well, not unplugged, but I actually took out the check engine light. So, you know, there's no check engine light anymore. And also, let me get this out here in the light. I made this little bezel piece to go around the US shift. So it's got a nice big thumbprint in it now. So the US shift normally sits here, and it just goes right there around it. I know it's not the exact color match, but unfortunately it is the best color match that I had available to me. So let me turn that off. So yeah, really just kind of frustrated with the trans controller. So I haven't really made much more progress. I've had a few other things going on, like these brackets here for another 5.0. It's actually some families. I got all that blasted for them. They're going to paint them. So I've kind of been fooling with that today and tried to get that thing squared, but it's just not gonna cooperate with me today. So yeah, we'll keep fighting it. We'll get it sorted. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end that video off here. I know you all haven't heard this thing run yet. It does run, promise me. It runs really good. Promise me. Oh God, I can't English. It does run really good, I promise. I do promise. But it's been fighting me tooth and nail. So gonna try to get it sorted to where it'll drive. And you know, I've been trying, you know, it's hard to film by yourself and make sure that everything's all right. So, you know, when I do have help, it's like, you know, it doesn't register, hey, maybe you should film this. So, like when we put it through a little break-in, it didn't click, you know, hey, put this on camera. So, but it actually does run really good. Carburetor needs a little bit more adjusting, but the trans controller issue, I really want to get that sorted out before I go any further, I guess. So, yeah, that's that, and I really dread adjusting that carburetor. I'm more in tune with Holly's, not Edelbrock's, but it'll be all right. I've already fiddled with the idle a little, and I think that'll help it. So we'll just see, I guess. So anyway, thanks for watching. You know, next video, I really do hope we're going down the road like hood on it. Everything works perfect, but I guess we'll see. So thank you guys for watching and have a good day. Go ahead.